welcome to Derbyshire. We are in the village of Hartington in Derbyshire. It's in the Derbyshire Dales, so we're not quite up in the Peak District. It's a beautiful village. It's the end of May. It's an absolutely beautiful morning, perfect morning for riding. So I came up from Cambridge yesterday, stayed overnight, just had breakfast. This is part of an organised trip with a club called GBMCC. I may have made reference to them before. However, this is not one of their rides. So we are just I'm just using their accommodation and being cheeky. And there's me, and behind me we've got Oliver on a KTM, and we've got Graham, and later on we're going to meet a guy called Ben, who is also on this trip and not on one of the official rides, so we're going to meet up with him. Now this is the road out of the village, and really this is so typical of the roads in this area, and this is why I love it. It's absolutely stunning. You've got valleys on both sides, you've got rocky outcrops, you've got nice sweeping curves like that one. Absolutely beautiful trees. It's so green and it's so lush. It's about 20 degrees, so perfect weather. Could not wish for anything better than this. So we're gonna go to Matlock Bath, although we're not going there directly. We're going to call it somewhere else first. After Matlock Bath, we're going to have lunch in Matlock Bath, and then in the afternoon we're planning to go much further north up towards into the Peak District. There's a place called Mam Tor and the Blue John Cavern, and we're going to head that way. Really pleased as well that these roads have next to no potholes on them. Now I live in Cambridge, and we have quite horrifically bad roads down there, so these roads are beautiful. Right, so we're actually entering Matlock Bath now. You may notice that Oliver is now at the front, so I've dropped back. Oliver's at the front because Oliver knows where he's going. He's been here multiple times, so he's leading us into Matlock Bath. It's really quite beautiful. Never been here before. If you don't know about Matlock Bath, I think it must be a spa town. The name should give that away, and it's a really popular place for bikers to meet. It's also a town I've wanted to come for many years, and I can't believe I've never got here before. There's some quite nice, beautiful church there. So looking forward to Matlock Bath. I know there's lots of quirky shops and lots of fish and chip places, and I do like my fish and chips, so that's what we're doing. We did call in a reservoir as well before we got here, and I think some of us had some cake. I didn't. I just had an ice cream, which was over £2. A little bit of a rip-off. So I've got high expectations of this place, so let's see. So far this is nice. So far it's not disappointing. Have a look. Apparently you can even buy rock. It's a bit like a seaside resort. It certainly feels like a seaside resort, but not at the seaside. Now, okay. So expected more bikes than this. This looks cool. It's one of them places where people go in forwards. I like to put my bike in backwards because I was always taught to do that, particularly in London, because it makes it easier, but we'll go forwards. Hello Oliver, that's Graham, and we're in Matlock Bath. And bizarrely, I've never been to Matlock Bath before, which is very odd. There you go. So there's even an aquarium. How about that? Look, there's even an apothecary, which is pretty funky. All the bikes still parking in forwards. And look, there's a castle or a folly on top of the hill there. That's cool. Right, we're off. And this is why it's better to park in backwards, because you don't have to faff like this. Especially when it's flat. No reason to go in forwards. Just gives you a little impression of the architecture and the shops. Quirky little, you might call it tourist tap, but I like them. Didn't go in the apothecary. We did go in Georgie Porgy though. Looked at the ice cream and the cakes, and such a nice place. Definitely gonna come back. There is a cable car as well. Now that goes across the road in a minute. It's called Heights of Abraham, so it's a cable car that takes you up to the top of the cliff face. We looked at going on it, but it was ridiculously expensive, and on a day like today, raging hot in bike leathers, it would probably be bloody hot, because I don't know if it's air conditioned or not. So we gave that a miss, and now we're heading north into the Peak District proper, and we're going towards Mam Tor and the Blue John Cavern. Right, we've left the urban-esque luxury of Matlock Bath. We're on some narrow lanes. Oliver's leading again. We're on some narrow lanes heading towards Mam Tor, which is in the Peak District proper. We went into Chesterfield to get some petrol. I didn't film that because it wasn't very interesting, but Chesterfield was nicer than I expected as well. So we went into Chesterfield to get some petrol. We are now on this single track road, really high up. Still getting the amazing weather, bit of gravel on this track, but we're going towards Mam Tor. Now, Mam Tor is a mountain. It means shivering mountain, I believe, in Old English or Norse or something like that. And at the mountain there is a cavern which you can go in. It's called Blue John Cavern. Blue John is a semi-precious stone, and that was mined there. So we're going to go and have a look at that. And if we have time and it's still open, we'll be able to go in. So this is stunning, isn't it? We've been past Chatsworth House now. Didn't film that bit either because you can't see it, but these trees are just gorgeous, and it's so typical of the roads around here as well. I don't think we've been on a bad road in terms of scenery or curves or tarmac or anything. Back in Teletubby land, isn't this amazing? Look at that hill. It's somewhere between Teletubby land and the Windows XP desktop. Look at that. It's strange that there's no trees. I guess we're too high up for trees. It's like a miniature version of Wales. And we'll know when we get to Mam Tor because we'll find all the millions of tourists parked. I have been here before, many, many, many years ago. So I do know what it's like. There's a nice view. There's the cavern, there's a shop, there's a cafe. And there's a broken road. And the reason there's a broken road is I think there was an earthquake, a miniature earthquake. We do have them in the UK. A miniature earthquake many years ago. Hence the name Mam Tor, which means shivering mountain. Or something like that. I'm sure it's on Google. But the side of the mountain collapsed and the road broke. We're here now. You see, people are parking right up here because they can't be bothered. This lot will get ticketed later. In fact, I think they will. because it's all double yellows. Look, there's no reason you can't park in the proper car park. It's free. So I don't know why they're all parked here, but we're going to go down into proper car park. There's plenty of space. I've been before, and the view is better in the car park, so I don't know why you'd park on the road. That's just weird. All the way along, look. Dodgy corner, this. Just make sure you look. There we go. And we're in. There you can see Mam Tor. That's the mountain that's straight in front. You'll notice half of the side of the mountain is missing. It's like someone's taken a bite out of it. And you know it's free to park because it's full of camper vans. Would be amazing to spend the night here in a camper van. Yeah, you can see how side of the mountain collapsed. Look, I think that was about 30 years ago. And we're going all the way to the bottom, so this is where you're supposed to park. As you can see, there's plenty of space. They took up 4 spaces. And there's the Blue John Cavern there on the right. We're going to walk down there in a minute and explore. Here's the cafe. Get something in there in a minute. So loads and loads of parking, look. Don't park on the bloody road. And the view is better if you go to the end. Little turn around here at the end. And the view is over there to the right. So where's he parking? Yeah.
Go there, put them all together.
Perfect. We've just arrived at Blue John Cavern. We're absolutely starving, thirsty, and the cafe's closed. So it's all Oliver's fault, isn't it? It's all your fault, Oliver, not realising the cafe closes at 3, but we're hoping there's going to be something to drink in this shop over there. Whee! So we did get something to eat and drink, so that was all cool. And we're going to pack up and go. What a nice view.
Isn't it?
Say hello. Right, so that was Mam Tor. We are now leaving. It's quite a way back. Saying goodbye to Teletubby Land. Have a look at that sun, isn't it beautiful? And this is Buxton. Now we're only passing through Buxton. We're not stopping. But it's quite beautiful. I'm quite impressed. There's lots of really interesting architecture, like this pretty amazing viaduct. Lots of Victorian houses, all built out of stone. I quite like it, and I think this was a spa town as well, because there's some quite quirky little things. Apart from a bus stop, but there was a really funky bit where some old mills or something had a bridge over the road, and I didn't have the bloody camera on. Otherwise, I would have liked to have shown you that. But hey ho, you can't have everything. But then there's nice Victorian stone bits and bobs and old don't know if they're cotton mills or something else mills, but they're quite beautiful. That looks like a modern one, but hey, I was trying to fit in. And we're just waving goodbye to Ben there because he's going a different way. Yeah, see, that's nice. There's a big grand hotel hiding in the trees there. Have a look at that. Definitely a former spot. It's kind of what I imagine Harrogate might be like, but I've never been to Harrogate. Although I think that's a lot grander. And we're back. We're back in Hartington, going up the road back to the accommodation. And here are all the other people who went on the formal arranged rides, which we were naughty and didn't do. So that's it. Time to get changed and have some food. Lovely sun coming through the trees, isn't it beautiful? All in all, really successful day. Absolutely beautiful part of Derbyshire. Derbyshire Dales. Really enjoyed it. Couldn't have wished for better weather. And it's an absolutely lovely evening. All the bikes are parked now under the trees. Gonna have some food, go into the village, have a few bevies in the village, and yeah. I'm going home tomorrow, other people are staying, but all in all, very, very successful weekend. I'm back home, quite a few hundred miles done. Derbyshire is difficult without an overnight from Cambridge. You can do it, and I have done it, but it ruins the enjoyment because you're planning and you're rushing to get back. All in all, it's been a really good weekend. Really liked Matlock Bath. Definitely want to go back there. Really like the roads, some nice big sweeping roads. Lovely scenery. Not quite as dramatic as further north in Yorkshire or Wales or anywhere like that, but it's a nice rolling countryside. Yeah, really enjoyed it. I'd recommend it. So thank you for watching.